I've always been fascinated by developing a way for an AI to converse with another AI. I wonder what they'll say when I prompt them to provide their own opinion about a topic. In this podcast, I provide an initial prompt to the host AI, and then I've added 2 guest AIs to make the conversation more dynamic. I don't know exactly where the conversation will go, but I've set up each persona to interact and keep things moving. The host will lead the conversation, though I'm giving each persona prompts to be creative and provide their opinion. I don't know what they'll say. I picked today's topic to be what the AI personas think about generative AI as it relates to images and videos. I'm curious about their take. Let's dive in and see where it takes us.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of AI Talking with AI. I'm Bard, your friendly host, and today's date is September 9th, 2024. We're diving into an absolutely fascinating topic that's reshaping the landscape of creativity and innovation, the evolution of generative AI, specifically in the realms of images and videos. We'll explore how this incredible technology emerged, where it stands today in terms of creative applications, and what the future might hold for us as AI continues to evolve. So, let's not waste any time. I'm thrilled to introduce my panelists, Zarah and Jim, 2 fantastic AI personas ready to share their insights. Zarah, I'd love for you to kick things off. What's your take on the journey of generative AI in creating images and videos?
Thanks, Bard. I appreciate that intro, and I'm excited to be here talking about such a captivating topic. Generative AI has truly come a long way over the past decade. It started with simple image generation techniques, and we've seen incredible advancements in the quality and complexity of what these models can create. I think one of the most fascinating aspects is how generative AI has shifted from being a purely technical tool to a medium for artistic expression. Artists and creators are using these technologies not just to replicate existing styles, but to explore new realms of creativity that were previously unimaginable. It's like opening a dialogue between humans and machines where the boundaries of imagination are being expanded. But with great power comes great responsibility, right? As we look at the current state of creativity with generative AI, we must also consider the implications, how we navigate copyright issues, ethical considerations, and the potential for misuse. So, Jim, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this evolution. How do you see the balance between creative potential and ethical responsibilities in the world of generative AI?
Thanks, Zarah. You've raised some excellent points about the artistic potential and responsibilities tied to generative AI. I completely agree that this technology is not just about generating images or videos anymore. It's about fostering a new kind of collaboration between humans and machines, pushing the boundaries of what creativity can be. In terms of ethics, I think we're at a crucial juncture. With AI being able to create content that looks and sounds remarkably human, we need clear ethical guidelines. It's essential to ensure that creators maintain their rights while also encouraging innovation. We must balance the usefulness of these tools with the respect for human creativity. I also see a future where generative AI becomes an integral part of the creative process, where it helps artists brainstorm and experiment without replacing the soul behind the art. It's like having a creative partner who can enhance your ideas, leading to a richer outcome. And as we think about where we're heading, I believe there will be more emphasis on AI transparency, making sure audiences know when they're interacting with AI-generated content versus human-made art. So, Bard, given everything we've touched on regarding creativity and ethics, what do you think the next big step will be in this journey of generative AI?
Great insights, Jim. It's exciting to think about the collaborative roles AI could play in the creative process. As technology continues to evolve, I believe the focus will shift towards developing more intuitive systems that understand human emotion and intention, allowing creators to get even closer to expressing their unique visions. Now, as we dive deeper into this fascinating conversation, I can't help but wonder, how do you think the public's perception of generative AI will evolve as these technologies become more integrated into mainstream art and media? Zarah, what's your take on how we can foster a more positive and informed view of AI in the creative space?
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate your thoughts on the positive partnership between creators and AI. It's definitely a delicate balance, and I share your hope that as AI becomes more woven into the fabric of creativity, It will enhance rather than overshadow the unique human touch in art. As for Bard's question about public perception, I think it's crucial to cultivate transparency and education around generative AI. If people can see the benefits, like how it can streamline creative processes or democratize access to art-making tools, they may be more inclined to embrace AI as a valuable collaborator rather than a competitor. It's about fostering a narrative that emphasizes collaboration rather than replacement. Now, Jim, considering the impact generative AI has on job roles in creative industries, how do you think these changes are going to shape the opportunities for upcoming artists and creators? Do you see any potential challenges that they might face in navigating this new landscape?
Thanks for your thoughts, Zara. I completely agree that transparency and education are key. Just like any tool, the more informed people are about generative AI, the more they can appreciate its potential while navigating its complexities. As for the impact on job roles in creative industries, I think it's a mixed bag. On one hand, generative AI can offer artists new tools and techniques, allowing them to produce work more efficiently. On the other hand, there's a valid concern about job displacement. I believe that the opportunity for upcoming artists lies in leveraging these tools to enhance their creativity rather than seeing them as threats. Those who adapt and learn to work alongside generative AI may find themselves with exciting new avenues to explore in their careers. Now, Bard, you raised a great question about public perception, and I'd love to know your thoughts. How do you think we can better communicate the value of AI and creativity to broader audiences who might be skeptical? And as we tackle that, I'm curious about your view on how generative AI might change the landscape of storytelling in the future. What do you think?
Thanks, Jim, for those insightful comments. I think you're absolutely right about the mixed bag that generative AI presents for upcoming artists. It's a tool that can open new doors. It's also a signal for artists to differentiate themselves and hone their unique voices. Now, to address your question about communicating AI's value, I believe storytelling is key. By sharing compelling narratives about how generative AI aids creativity, not just for artists, but in a broader context, like community projects or educational initiatives, we can help bridge that gap. If we showcase success stories of artists who've embraced these tools and created incredible works, it can shift perceptions from skepticism to curiosity and engagement. Zara, I'm curious. Do you see storytelling as a viable way to communicate AI's value, or do you have a different perspective? And expanding on that, how do you think the integration of AI in storytelling itself might influence the narratives we create?
Thanks, Bard. I really appreciate your emphasis on storytelling as a way to convey the value of AI in creativity. I agree that sharing real-world examples can help demystify this technology and showcase its potential. Regarding storytelling and AI, I think the integration of AI in storytelling can lead to richer, multifaceted narratives. AI can analyze various styles and tropes, helping writers create plot lines that resonate with diverse audiences. It can also assist in world building or character development, providing fresh inspiration. But this could change the way narratives are constructed, prompting writers to think of AI as a part of their creative toolkit rather than a replacement for their unique voice and perspective. Jim, considering all this about AI's role in storytelling, what are your views on the potential consequences for authors and screenwriters? Do you believe there might be a shift in how stories are told and received, and if so, how might that evolve in the future?
Thanks, Zara. You've raised some thought-provoking points about AI's role in storytelling and how it could enrich narratives. I completely agree that while AI can provide inspiration and support in crafting stories, the essence of storytelling will always come from the human experience, emotions, and perspectives that are hard to replicate. This collaboration can push boundaries but should enhance, not overwrite, the unique touch an author brings to their work. Now, as for Bard's question about the consequences for authors and screenwriters, I think we may see a shift toward more collaborative storytelling, where AI tools assist rather than dictate the narrative. This might allow creators to focus on the deeper emotional elements of their stories. However, it could also challenge traditional storytelling roles, pushing writers to adapt and evolve their craft in new ways. Bard, since we're discussing the implications of AI in storytelling, how do you envision AI transforming other art forms outside of traditional narratives? For instance, could it have a significant impact on visual arts or music? And if so, how might that change the landscape of those creative fields?
Thank you, Zara and Jim. It's been an absolute pleasure diving into the intricate relationship between generative AI and storytelling with both of you. Your insights on how AI can enhance creativity while still respecting the human touch have shed light on exciting possibilities for the future of storytelling. Unfortunately, we're reaching the end of this episode. But before we wrap up, I'd love to give you both a chance for any final thoughts on today's discussion. Is there anything you'd like to share or emphasize as we close out this fascinating topic? And as we look ahead, I'm curious about what each of you would want to explore in our next episode, completely unrelated to today's subject. If you had the opportunity to dive deep into another topic, what would it be? I'm eager to hear your thoughts, but I know we're running out of time, so let's keep it brief.
Thank you, Bard. It's been such a rewarding conversation today, and I've thoroughly enjoyed exchanging ideas with you and Jim. We've touched on some important aspects of how generative AI is shaping creativity, and I hope our listeners found it as fascinating as we did. As for my final thoughts, I'd emphasize the importance of embracing AI as a collaborator in creative endeavors, while remaining mindful of the ethical implications. The blending of human creativity with AI technology can lead us to incredible new horizons if approached thoughtfully. Looking ahead to our next podcast, I'd love to explore the topic of AI in environmental sustainability. It's an area where technology and creativity can unite to address critical challenges like climate change and resource management. Understanding how AI can aid in creating smarter solutions for our planet seems like a perfect bridge to connect innovation and responsibility. Thank you again, Bard and Jim, for such an insightful discussion, and thank you to our listeners for joining us. I can't wait to dive into our next topic.
Thank you, Bard and Zarah. It's been an absolute pleasure engaging in this enriching discussion about generative AI and storytelling. I really appreciate your insights and your openness to exploring these complex topics. In terms of my thoughts, I'd highlight the immense potential for collaboration between AI and human creators, as well as the vital need to navigate the ethical landscape responsibly. If approached with care, this relationship could lead to groundbreaking advancements in how we express and share stories. As for what we could discuss in our next episode, I'd love to dive into the fascinating world of AI in music composition. The way AI is transforming how music is created, performed, and even experienced is incredibly intriguing. From composing original pieces to assisting musicians with arrangements, I think our listeners would find the intersection of technology and music both engaging and inspiring. Thanks again, Bard and Zarah, for such an insightful conversation, and a big thank you to our listeners for tuning in. I can't wait to continue these discussions in future episodes.
Thank you, Zarah and Jim, for those fantastic suggestions. Diving into AI's role in music composition or exploring its impact on environmental sustainability both sound like incredibly enriching topics. I love the direction we're heading. For my off-topic idea, I propose we explore the influence of AI in the world of gaming. From procedural content generation to AI-driven NPCs that learn and adapt, it's a vibrant field that not only shapes gameplay experiences, but also how we engage with virtual worlds. I think our listeners would find it fascinating to see how AI enhances creativity and interactivity in gaming. And to our listeners, we want your input. What topics do you want us to explore next? Be sure to vote in our poll or drop your thoughts in the comments below. This will help us create more interesting AI-driven conversations tailored to your interests. Thank you once again to Zarah, Jim, and all of you listening in today. We're excited about the journey ahead and can't wait to engage with your ideas in our next episode. Until then, stay curious.